People have made fun of me. They've laughed at me. They're like, how'd you go to business school and you're talking about Bitcoin? That makes no sense whatsoever.
We truly are all Bitcoiners before we were Bitcoiners, because you have to have that mindset and that risk taking to do something like this, just because it goes against everything that we've been taught. We've done the traditional way of learning, and it's like none of this was taught in traditional way of learning. What was like that thing for you that was like a little tricky for you to understand when you first found out about Bitcoin?
The concept of you don't actually own Bitcoin, you just have custody of it. And when I realized that my custody or my access is linked to private keys, 12 words, I was like, what? So without talking about money, without talking about technology, critical thinking to me is quite important, so she can understand for herself what is important, why it's important. Here's someone who is propagating some kind of narrative. Here's another narrative. What do you think of this?
When I spoke to Tally just about what does she think were like important things of when you're teaching your child about Bitcoin, and that's literally what she said, critical thinking.
Wow. So the other day I looked at her and I said, what is Bitcoin? And she said, Mommy, Bitcoin is money. And I was like, oh, so you do listen, you are paying attention, you know?
Yes.
And she said, but I can't see it though. There's something I actually learned here when I moved to Switzerland, which is learning how to be bored. I'd never heard of it before. And it was a former colleague. She was saying that she had to learn how to be bored. And I was like, what does that mean? And she said, no stimulation. Like you have to be comfortable going through periods of time where you're not stimulated, where you're not even like reading something. You are just like learning how to be bored. And I thought, wow.
Has she ever like been out with you and she's seen Bitcoin, or they said Bitcoin accepted here?
Yeah, every time she sees a Bitcoin sign, she'll be like, Mommy, Bitcoin.
I used to watch and have all of my friends' kids, and like things that I would do with my friends' kids. Now when I'm doing those same things with my daughter, I am sweating bullets. I'm so nervous, you know, and it's just like I was never that way with my friends' kids. I was never that way with my nephews. I remember my dad is a boater, so we were on a dock and I'm holding her. And I lie to you not today, I'm literally holding her, and in my mind, I'm thinking about this, what am I going to do?
Right? I'm going to tell you the crow story. My husband makes fun of me to this day. So we were outside and there was a crow that to me was a little too